And we're live.
Hello, everyone. Today is Thursday, May the 16th. This will be an abbreviated program in that, as you can probably tell, I'm still a bit teeny. The president just announced his immigration plan that he plans to bring forward. This is step one of two steps that I understand the president will try. And when they fail, he'll be forced to close the border. Folks, we don't want our southern border closed. We don't. But due to the craziness of what is going on our border, we may have no choice. I heard a report yesterday that some person was interviewed that was crossing the border, and they asked her how she came up with the idea of coming to America or whatever. And if you can believe it, she said she heard it in an ad in her home country. They were running ads telling people to come here and rape this country, essentially. That's not what the ad says, but that's what they're doing. They're telling them to come here by the millions. Folks, we can't keep going. We're borderline close to having so many here illegally that our budget blows completely up. And what will happen then, as we keep letting them in, is our Standard & Poor's and credit rating is going to start dropping. And folks, when that happens, every American will feel the bite, feel the hit. So all I can say to you is this. There is an all-out effort by the Democrats, by the media, by the progressives to overthrow our form of government. And they are willing to do anything they have to take it over. The coup is not finished. It is not over. Now soon, God willing, and I have been told truth will start coming out about what's happened. But you should have no doubt about it. If we produced every day from now until Election Day another piece of evidence that absolutely 100% guaranteed proves beyond any shadow of any doubt that these people were trying to overthrow our country, overthrow our president, look every law in the book. There would be 40% of this population right now that won't believe it. Why? I say 40%. It'll be more like half of the nation. Won't believe it. Why? Because the media will claim it's all fraudulent. If they show you a picture of Comey in a meeting with Obama planning this thing, and you actually see him on video, on tape, planning it, if that tape would exist, and I'm not saying it does, even with that kind of evidence, generation that it was fake. And what's sick is half of this nation will believe. The only chance we have of saving this country, the only chance, is for us to win in 2020. And the battle cry, you're tired of hearing it. Maybe you are. Battle cry is never socialism. We can never allow socialism to get any more of a foothold in this nation than it has right now. And believe me, it's got a solid foothold right now. I don't know. I do know, but I guess I don't understand the failing of the millennial minds. I understand they've been brainwashed. I understand they've been socially engineered from the day they entered school until the day they left. I know. But they're supposed to be smart. They're supposed to be smarter than any generation in history. And one would think that surely, with examples flash right now, examples of Venezuela, that they would see socialism just can't be. It has to be Venezuela as our example. Because I assure you, socialism, communism, have been wiped clean from the histories they've learned. They were not made out to be bad things to them. They want what they want, and they want it now. I'm not going to lie to you. Yes, there are CEOs of corporations making bizarre amounts of money, accumulating massive wealth. I know it. And I know those same companies paying those CEOs these fantastic sums are doing everything they can to shortchange, cut out benefits, keep salaries down on their employees. I know that. But you see, that's business. That's business. One day, these companies, employees, will fix it. They'll have to fix it. It's been done before. Now, that sounds like I'm calling for labor unions, and I am not. But companies, employees can get together, especially at a time that we're in today, when there are more jobs necessarily than skilled labor felons. Employees could band together and make it very difficult for these corporations to continue on unless treated fairly. That takes courage. That takes conviction. That takes strength. And yes, it takes a certain amount of bravery. There's always risk. Folks, what we've got today, the myriad of problems we face, they're not all going to go away in the election of 2020. They're not, even if Trump wins. Even if the Republicans get hold and get control of the House as well as the Senate, they're not going to end at all. But you have a chance then. We as a nation will have a chance to correct many things that are wrong. And let me tell you, you rest assured, you rest totally comfortable in the fact will be faced with a socialist president, a socialist House of Representatives, and a socialist Senate. And folks, this nation will be finished. This, I promise you. Chad King called me the other day, guy that I did the video Revolution 2.0 with. And he was going back listening to Alex Jones, an old program of Alex Jones. And I guess it was the last one I did after Trump had won. He had just won the presidency. And I gave what was coming in the future. And Chad said everything correct. Well, I told he would be impeached. I told there would be a coup, soft coup. Everything I said in that program has come to pass. I'm no prophet. I'm certainly no prophet. But I do know this business. And I know politics, and I know communism, and I know socialism. I've seen it in other places around the world, up close and personal. And I know what's coming if we don't win. So I beg you, suit up. Join with me as long as I can. And if I can't be with you all the way, if I have to go on wrong, you're going to have to go. You're going to have to fight. And you're going to have to fight in the presidential election of 2020, unlike any time you've ever done in the past. You're going to have to get involved when you haven't in past elections ever. Be ready. Stay strong. Stay vigilant. Don't believe lies. Don't believe conspiracies on the internet. Don't believe all the crap people are putting out to keep you interested and keep you entertained. Keep your head down. Pay attention. Make people prove stuff they tell you. Make them prove it. In most cases, I can tell you today, when you hear something on the internet, some new scheme that's going to be some magic bullet that's going to rise up and arrest everybody in Washington, D.C., put Obama in prison. Know this, it's a lie. It is a bull-faced lie. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. Alan, have you got anything to add, honey?
Sandy says we have 425 days until the election.
425. We can hold our attention span 400 and some odd days. We can dig our heels in for 420 days. We can have enough pride in ourselves and in our country to pull us through 400 and some odd number of days. We have enough strength. We do. Enough strength to pull ourselves through some 400 and something days. Just have a commitment. The rest will follow. The rest will happen. You are stronger than you think you are. You are more powerful as an army of one than you think you are. You have been lied to. You have been bullied down. You have been deceived. You
Don says,
So,
Don says he's flying his Never Socialism stickers. So thank you.
what?
Don says he is flying his Never Socialism bumper stickers. Folks, get your Never Socialism bumper stickers. Display them anywhere and everywhere. They're really good quality decals that you can stick anywhere. And we need to have these plastered everywhere.
And some of y'all will be getting them very soon, if not already.
And we need more people buying the t-shirt so we can place another order, because we can't just place one at a time. We need to do, a dozen at a time. So please buy a t-shirt and be part of. That's something you can do right now to help spread the word. We've got to start these conversations.
Anybody have a question? I'll take a couple questions for them.
Yeah, Don's commenting on, and then you can comment on it. Said they're distracting us with social issues like abortion and racism.
Say again?
We're being distracted by talk about abortion and racism instead of socialism.
Right.
I mean, these are important issues.
They're important issues. And God bless Alabama, Georgia, states that have passed the heartbeat bill. Finally, states are starting to recognize we're committing not abortion, we're committing murder. Killing a child is murder. If the child's in the womb or outside, it's still murder. Thank you, those states that have finally stood up. Immigration, significant. It is an urgent crisis.
Larry, when a mother...
As he said, they're using them to distract us from the socialism. From socialism that is being pushed by the Democrats, especially the people running it by the way. Good God. Don't believe the polls. Don't believe the polls. When you hear that Joe Biden is ahead of all of this pack of losers that they've got running, don't believe it. You don't know a simple way to tell whether he is actually winning the Democratic Party primary. You want to know?
Mm-hmm.
Check the number of people that come to his rallies. And that man can't draw 1,000 people at a rally. When he can't draw 500, when he can't draw over 75, then you should know he's not magic. He's not the one. To be honest, the one that is still leading is Bernie Sanders. The reason they're trying to play it up that it's Joe Biden is to take the emphasis off of Sanders pushing the term socialism. The Democrats are not stupid. They know that Sanders is out there saying socialism, and they know what we know, that our base truly understands what socialism is and will fight to stop it. So they would rather put us to sleep and make us believe that Joe Biden is leading and that he's Mr. Moderate. He's no socialist. It's all a lie. And as we get into the election, the first thing I will tell you that you should everyone put down on your list of Nicholisms that I give you to check off. Number one, whatever comes out of Washington, D.C. is a lie. If you want to know the truth, figure out the opposite of what they tell you, and 99% of the time you'll be right. Number two, never believe the polls. The polls are all weighted. The polls are an advertising gimmick to make you believe what they want you to believe. use this election to put President Trump's soft base to sleep. Any other questions or comments?
I'm going to ask people to please share this everywhere you can today. Hit the like button so more people will have it recommended. Our numbers are too small. Please let people know that Larry is here. You know, I try to get a message from him whenever he's not here, if it's possible. Last week it was not possible, and we just had to carry on. But this is the whole point Larry's making. We have to carry on together. We have to grow this team with or without Larry. We have got to do this because you are getting the truth here from Larry. You know what to do. You know, he's doing his best to teach us, and those of us that went through the last election with him can help lead the way because we've done this before. And those of you who have experience with electioneering and participating, you know, get in touch with us. Let's build this team.
Listen, y'all, nothing offends me more than for me to sound like I'm bragging or sound like I'm a know-it-all. Nothing. I hate that. I do everything in my power to avoid that. And if I come across that way, I am so sorry. I am so sorry. But here's what I've got to say to you. In the interest of being honest, totally flat out honest. You look at the things I've always told y'all were going to happen. And by God, they happen. Look at the things I've tried to teach you. The things I've tried to teach you, you have found if you have studied what I have said, if you have watched what I have said in real life, you've seen that I've told you the truth. And if you've been with me any amount of time, you should be able to see news and politics in a whole new way. A whole new way. Your eyes should be open to things you never knew before. I'm a teacher at this point in my life. At 68, fixing to be 69, as I told Jason Goodwin the other day. In my life now, I look back on a life of shame. I'm sorry, it is. But I have a chance. Every day I'm still breathing. I have a chance not to make up for what I've done wrong. Again. But I have a chance of sort of squaring the score. I have a chance of leaving something behind that's good. I have a chance of helping. I'm trying. I'm really trying. You may not believe it. Can't help you if you don't.
Can you take a
Yes,
couple?
I don't blame you. You don't.
Can you take a couple more questions? We got a
Yes.
couple in. All right. Will Obama be held accountable, and whom do you think will go to jail?
Obama is going to be held accountable, I promise you that. But it may not be enough for you. Obama is going to be remembered for all time as his presidency as being the criminal president, the president that committed treason, but he will probably never be prosecuted. All the truth's going to come out. His entire legacy is as sure ruined as is the sky above us. Who's going to go to jail? That's a tough one. I'll tell you who they're going to go after to put in jail. James Comey. McCabe. thinking of right now.
The Oars?
Wars, yes. They're going to be prosecuted, folks. I can promise you that. The reality of whether they go to jail depends on whether or not Trump wins in 2020. The legal proceedings to put them in jail will not be finished by the time of the presidential election. They won't. They'll be nearly over, but they won't be finished. And there will have to be some movement of judges, and that will happen if Trump is reelected.
Okay, a couple more questions.
All right.
Will the media turn? Oh, sorry, Mike. Will the media turn on Biden if things come out against him? Or are they just using him to help Sanders?
They're not using Biden to help Sanders. They're using Biden to cover up for Sanders. I guess that is helping Sanders in a way. But they're not going to turn on Biden. The media will not turn on Biden, although there is absolute evidence. Matter of fact, you've got him saying that he strong-armed the prosecutor in the Ukraine to get his son from being investigated. That's going to be proven.
It seems
Media's not going to cover it. Media's not going to help. Media's not going to do anything to Joe Biden. They're not going to do anything to any of them. The Democrats, no, sir.
It seems to me that since Clinton's bad behavior was ignored for the sake of election, people before him had to drop out of a race when there was scandal involving them. But since Clinton, it doesn't.
Not for the Democrats today.
Yeah, not anymore. What do you think about Durham?
I think my exposure with him is that he's good. I think he's the right man, just as I think Barr is the right man. But I say that with caution, because I have been lied to before. We have been lied to before. But right now, yes, believe in him. Believe in him. I know he is doing the job. I know that. Will he be allowed to finish? That's the part. Yet to be proven. I think he will, but it's yet to be proven. And guys, I'd love to tell you he's solid as a rock, but I can't tell you that about anybody that comes out of Washington, D.C. Can't tell you that about anyone out of that place. That's the devil's den. And I've seen it turn many a good man, any good woman, into the wrong side too many times. What else, Miriam?
Just one final comment here. Don't look back, Larry. We've all made mistakes, and no one has the right to judge. You've more than made up for the past. There's a lot of love for you here.
Well, thank you. Thank you. You can do me one big favor, all of you. Just one big favor. Win. I don't care how many times each one of us have lost in our lives. You won't understand this, but I have lived 100 different lives. I'm not kidding. I've been 100 plus people. I've been 100 different people there. Some I've won. Many I've won. Some I've lost. But as long as we fight, as long as you don't quit, as long as you don't surrender and give in, you have not lost. You haven't lost. Do you understand that? Can y'all understand what I just told you? You haven't lost. Just like me. Yes, I've got a life of shame, but I'm not dead yet. So I haven't lost. I'm fighting. I'm still fighting. As long as I fight, I'm lost. And I tell you, if we could stand together, you and I, somehow magically, we could touch each other's hearts. If we could allow our spirits to transcend distance and radio, computer, if we could touch each other with our spirits, gain strength from each other. When one of us is down, pick them up. If we could do that, we can win. We can win. You see, the bad guys got one thing against them, and we've got two things for us. They're lying. There's nothing they can do because they're lying. It is what it is, they're lying. What we're trying to do is tell the truth. We're just trying to get to the truth. We don't want the lies. We're trying to get to the truth. We're not trying to settle for lying. We're trying to tell the truth. And the biggest thing we have going for us is we have our Lord and Jesus Christ, our God, our Savior. I don't believe, you can't make me believe that He's sitting on high looking down at us and rooting for us to lose. I don't believe that. But I challenge all of you. He's not sitting up there and saying, I wish y'all wouldn't try anything, let me do it. I don't think He's doing that either. I think He's up there rooting for us. But He expects us to do our part. If we do our part, I firmly believe if we do our part, He'll help us save our land. He will. He will help us. I've seen Him do it. I have. Larry Nichols, myself, me, present day, in 2016, I believe my faith. I believe I saw a miracle. I saw God reach down, and maybe it wasn't the sequel to Him parting the water, but I saw Him make President Trump our president. And in a wisdom that none of us had, we didn't any of us know whether Donald Trump was going to be anywhere near what he claimed he was going to be. None of us knew that. Matter of fact, many of us were concerned that he was just a showman, that it was all just type. Little did we know, God knew then, that Donald Trump, once he became president, would be the first president to actually do and try to do exactly what he said he would do if elected, and to stay the course and to fight for us. It's quite an incredible miracle. Still going on. That's why I know if we just believe, if we hold on to our faith, and if we fight for the truth, and if we stand, not getting preachy because I'm damn sure not the person to preach to, but if we stand on godly principles, which, by the way, were the foundational principles that started this country. We are not to be perfect. We are to try to be perfect. I believe we can win. I know we'll win. Because we've got the two things, truth and God. They got lies. That's their strong suit, lies. Truth lasts forever. God lasts for all eternity. always comes out. Sometimes it's way too long. Sometimes it seems it's too late to matter. It comes out. Y'all can call me a fool. I wouldn't blame you if you do. But these things I have told you, I believe. And it stands good. It stands good. Anybody else, Marianne?
Yes, sir. Who do you think will be the vice president next time?
Well, I'm going to say it's going to be Pence. I do not believe Trump will drop him if he's reelected. I do not think he will drop Mike Pence. Trump is not the kind of guy to do that. Now, Pence does something stupid, Trump will fire him. I know that. Do I trust Pence? No, I do not. He's not president. Trump is.
There was a question about Bernie. They burnt Bernie badly last time. Did he not learn, or was he promised something now to run again?
Well, I think last time they simply explained to Bernie how the cows eat cabbage. They cheated him. He knows he was cheated. But in the final analysis, he knew he was cheated, but he had no choice. So he ended up going along. This time, he thinks this time he's going to be able to play a different game. He's got what he thinks is the party, this young party, this progressive party, all these young candidates all singing his song this time, so he thinks he's in a better position. And I say to you, he's not. The hierarchy of the Democratic Party will win the day in this primary before it's over. They will. For Sanders to win, he will have to make backbone deals with the party hierarchy, with the party establishment. And I believe he will. The whole Democratic Party lineup, guys, if there's ever been a list of 20-some-odd presidential candidates running for any party, either party, if there's ever been as big a group of absolute losers, I have never seen it. I've never seen it. There is not one, what I deem to be a credible, viable, presidential material candidate in their whole lineup. Not one. Not one. That don't matter. Not to the Democrats, not to the progressives. Because the progressives don't care who's going to be president because they're running to become a socialist country, which means there will be a figurehead only, and the collective will run it. Anybody else?
Let's see. Oh, there's somebody who's saying everybody should write the White House, tell Trump we want the oath breakers removed for failure to uphold their oath, and the witch hunt.
I don't think we should involve ourselves in picking a fight with anybody. Guys, I'm not saying the oath keepers have done what they said, because I don't know. I don't know those keepers. I don't know what they've been up to, what they've not been up to, what they've done, haven't done.
Larry, hey, Larry, I think he's talking about the people violating their oath of office in Congress.
Well, if that's the case, you got to get rid of every person in Washington.
Oath breakers, not oath keepers.
Right. Everyone. I'm trying to live up to an oath I took when I was a kid, when I signed up in the military and said I would protect and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, both foreign and domestic. I'm still trying to live up to that oath. not a bad thing in Washington, D.C. You need to learn that. You need to believe that. Lying's not a bad thing. It's a means to an end.
Do you think the Democrats will run an independent who sounds conservative to distract votes from Trump?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do. It's not going to be as effective as normal because Trump is so strongly held by his base that there's not going to be, see, that running a ringer, folks, would be a scary item if this were an election of 40, 40, 20, 40 Republicans, 40% Democrats, and 20% in the middle. That would be a scary situation with a ringer in it. This race is not about that. This race is not that formula. Finally, we have people in this administration that are realizing the formula that I have laid out for you is the true formula of this race. Never has it been this before, so that's why there's a lot of concern. Nobody's ever walked this kind of race before. Nobody's ever worked out all the sciences, all of the formulas. Nobody's ever done it. I was just fortunate to see it. Maybe I saw it before some others. Maybe I didn't. I don't know. I'm going to claim I'm so smarter than anybody else. But the good news is they're figuring it out now. So don't worry about a ringer. What will also counsel the value of the ringer is we are yet to see on the surface that it's already happening. The Democratic Party, as I had promised y'all would occur, remember I told you this would happen, they're going to cut each other up so bad in the primary, it's going to hurt them. And they're going to waste a lot of money that they don't have to waste, that is normally transferred into the general election. They're going to be wasting billions of dollars fighting each other in the primary.
Larry, tell them why so many are running.
The reason this pack of losers have chosen to jump in this race is because it is a well-known fact within the Democratic upper circles that if the Democrats win, whoever is the president that's a Democrat will be the last president because they know we will become a socialist country. So why not? If you ever had the dream of being president, certainly being the president with all the powers and credentials of a king, a modern day king, throw your name out there. Throw it in, you might accidentally win. This is the last election. If the Democrats win, this is it. There may be future elections. I know that sounds porky tonguish, but it's not. They have elections in Cuba. Now they have elections in Venezuela, but they're just stages. They're just staged to keep the people somewhat calmed down. They're rigged from the get-go. We'll never have, if the Democrats win, if Donald Trump loses, we'll never have a free election ever again in this nation. Don't. Until we have another revolution, and the next revolution will be horrid. If horrid means worse than horrible, it will be terrible. Now, if you don't believe me, I think it's Tucker Carlson or Hannity, one of the two. They're running a series on the cities in California that have all of these people, homeless people, living in the streets. You got to know California is a model of the United States of America if the Democrats get the presidency, the Senate, and the House. The homeless, ridiculous, terrible, stupid situation in California California people living on the steps of the town hall building, living in the streets. A state that's in debt, a state that's just out of control. That is a democratically run state, just like the United States will be if they win in 2020. Do you hear me? If you want to see America 6 months after January 2021, if the Democrats take the presidency, the House, and the Senate, 6 months to a year, all major cities in America, and even some middle and smaller towns and cities in America will look like California. The country financially will be like California. The only difference will be California has all of us stupid states in this nation paying for their mismanagement. We're all chipping in with our tax money paying for the crap they're doing. When it gets nationwide, there's nobody going to pay for us. We don't have a sugar daddy. Can y'all see that? Is that a better picture to help you see the future? Do you want to drive down to your downtown where you live and not be able to walk the streets? For people living in tents and needles and PC and urine all over everywhere. Is that what you would like to see in your community?
No.
Venezuela is proof of socialism. You don't want that. California is proof of what happens if the Democrats manage this country. Anybody else agree?
Somebody's commenting that everybody's angry right now.
Everybody's angry at me.
No. I think just that, where our country is right now. Somebody just got a fundraising letter from Mark Warner claiming that Trump is getting ready to put us in war with Iran, which she recognizes that's a lie.
Good. Let me tell y'all, I doubt there's anybody on this call. Nobody. There's not going to be anybody that listens to this call that has spent as much time on the ground in that region as I have. Nobody. President Trump is not creating a fake crisis in the Middle East with Iran. He's not. I don't know what specifics have gone on. I don't know. But I assure you, what he is doing is calculated and measured. And he's doing right. Iran is testing America. It was bound to happen, and it's happening. Now, Iran can shut down the flow of oil from the Middle East. Now, although we are producing more oil in America than we actually need. And remember, all of y'all need to always remember this. In the United States of America, we cannot burn one drop of Middle Eastern oil. Do you hear me? Our EPA rules, the things that govern the actual oil that we can use, turn into gasoline, etc., in this country. One drop of oil from that region can be burnt in this country, used in this country, can't be done. We can use oil only from Canada, Mexico, United States, and Venezuela. You got it? The only places that we can get oil from, that we can use in this nation. all the oil to everybody in the world. Iran is doing business on the black market with their oil. Presently, under our sanctions, Iran can only sell 25% of the oil it produces on the open market. Only 25% is allowed to be sold. But they're selling through the back door all of their oil. The problem is Iran, when they officially got out of the nuclear treaty that Obama set up, which, by the way, was a fake. They were doing it anyway. At least now we know it. What's worrying Trump and worrying you, or should be worrying each one of you, is now that they're producing plutonium, weapons-grade plutonium. What are they doing with it? It's not just a matter of them making weapons for them to use to blow up Israel. It's not just a matter of them developing their ICBM inventory with missiles that could hit America. That's part of it, of course. But the greatest threat daily is, are they shipping that weaponized plutonium, the materials, are they shipping them out, and to whom are they shipping them? And they're going to do everything they can, and have done it, and are doing it now, to shut down the shipping of oil through the Straits of Hormuz. And folks, that cannot be allowed to happen. If that happens, you will throw the entire Middle East into a crisis. And that's when war will start waging and breaking out everywhere. So we have to be in a position to defend the strait, to be able to protect Israel. And I assure you that what President Trump is hearing and getting are reports. I do not know what they are. I have no intel, so don't take it. This is just my opinion. In my opinion, I assure you, President Trump is getting word of stepped up activities towards attacking Israel and shutting down the strait. It's the quickest way for Iran to cause the ring of fire to light, which is the uniting of Islamic nations and OEGI. So I would suggest to all of you, stand behind President Trump and what he's doing in the Middle East. And remember, just because you don't get to be privileged to the detailed intelligence coming in from the region about what's really going on, this is one of those times when you must trust your president. And I do.
What about Bolton?
I happen to trust Bolton. He's more fire and brimstone than many people would like. Some considering even hawkish to the extreme. But I respect a man that I know where he stands, and he is proud to wear his position. The people I don't respect are the ones that weed him out around. I assure you, Bolton is the real deal. You may not like his methods, you may not like his style, but you better damn well appreciate his skill and his understanding of the region and elsewhere.
That's it, Larry.
Now let me say this about Bolton also. If I had my brother's votes, me, my opinion, if I had my choice of anybody in America, anyone, go as far as to say past or present. Well, maybe not past, but at least presently. There is nobody that I would want in the position other than him. Nobody. I don't know if that means anything to you guys as far as a recommendation, but that's as strong a recommendation as I can give to anyone.
You know, with all the negative we hear about Bolton, I appreciate your saying that, Larry. And this is an example where we have got to pay attention to the fact that just about everything we hear everywhere else is not true. And that's really frustrating.
Hear all of the negative that's against him. I really wish you would appreciate what I've told you, just like you're saying, Marielle. That is a classic example. If they're doing working that hard to make him out to be wrong, then that means he must be right. Surely you can see that, y'all.
Do you believe Iran hit those ships and did the drone strikes on the Saudi oil pipeline?
I don't know. I have no information, to say opposite of what we've heard. I would simply ask, check the origin of where the accusation came from, and then believe what you will. But I have no reason to believe it's wrong if it's what Trump and his people have said. I have no reason to believe it's wrong based off anything that I've seen or heard otherwise.
Yeah.
And I certainly believe they're capable of it.
All right, guys. Larry has been talking for an hour. He does enjoy being with us, and it did seem like he got some strength from that, from interacting. So thank you for your questions. But I am hearing his voice fail at this point, and so we're going to call this. Yes, sir. So, folks, he needs help every day. If there's anything you can do to help him get what he needs to have for tonight, remember his PayPal account is nicholslive@aol.com. nicholslive@aol.com. If you cannot do PayPal, you are welcome anytime to text me 240-499-6729, and we can work out some alternative method. We've done this with other people before. We can figure something out. So please do whatever you can, and thank you, folks.
Good day.